So, in this lesson, we will firstly talk about the operators in Python programming language. Okay, like this one. And so, in Python programming language, we have the 5 types of operator, like the arithmetic, for example, plus, minus, or times, or star. The comparison operator are included this language, for example, smaller, greater, or equal, greater than equal, or smaller and equal, and something like that. Okay, and we have also a logical operator in here, and or, like this one. We have another operator like the bitwise, and or not, or the tilde here. And we have also special purpose operators like the is or in. In the previous lesson, we have described how we can use the is operator in Python programming language. Okay, and so firstly we will start with the arithmetic operators. Okay, arithmetic operators. Firstly, I will give the new line in here, like this one, because if we have the many examples in here, and then we will create some new lines in order to be seen all the codes in the terminal page. Okay, firstly we have the division operator in Python programming language, and then I can use the print function in here like this one, and I can give the some type operation here. Type is a function, it's a built-in function in order to what? In order to get the type of the variable. For example, in this case that we have the a variable in here like this one, and then if we know this formulation in here, 10 division or divide by the 4, and then we will see the type of a. Okay, and so if I run the code in here, pushing the Control F5, and then this class is the float, and so which means that 10 divided by 4 produce the float value. Okay, or b is equal to 12 divided by 4, and then I can print the values of these things like this one, the type b. Okay, and so if I run this code, also b is produces the float value, and so but in literal terms the 10 or 4 is the integer values. Okay, and so in Python, if we want to have or produce the integer value as a result of the division operator in here like this one, and then we can utilize the double slash in here. Okay, and so we have this information in here, and then if we run this code, then it produces the integer value at the result of the 10 divided by the 4. Okay, and so we have also some operator in here like this one, the percentage or the mod operator. Okay, and so if I run this code again like this one, and then this gives us or produce us the division or reminder of this code. For example, 10 mod 4 with respect to 4, and then we have the 2 value in here. Okay, at the outcome, and so the class is the integer values. Okay, and so if we want to produce the float value in here, or if we apply the mod operator on the float values, and then we can produce like this one, 10 dot this float value, this integer value, but the division or the remainder operator is giving us to what? The float value in here, 2. Okay? And also we can use the what? The 10.2 float value in here, and so the percentage or the mod operator is given in here, and then we can copy off this code like this one. And so if I run this code, and we have the float value in here with the what? The 2 dot blah blah blah. Okay, there's some difference between in here, because in Python programming language we can apply the mod operation on the what? The float values, but in C or C++ we cannot do that. Okay, and also we have one more property in here, the -11 is included in this case, and 4 can generate the other results of the what? The operators. Okay, in C or C++ we cannot take the mod operation in the minus value or the negative values, but in Python programming language we have the overload value in here like this one. This produces the 1. Okay, in Python if we want to take an over operation like this one, 2 over 10 can be given or can be supplied with what? With the double times operator or star operator. Okay, and so if we have this information, and then we can write it down like this one, the age is equal to what? 1024. Okay, or we can utilize the float value in the over operation like this one. Okay, and so the AA can be written by the what? This like. Okay, the float value is equal to the what? 2.29. Okay. So, any question? Okay, so please summarize the classroom code from the message, because the Farzad cannot attend the previous lecture, and so I will share this classroom code in this lesson, or some friends can do that. Okay, so we have this arithmetic operator in here, but we have also a priority level in Python programming language. Okay, because we have the many operators like the times, plus or minus, and then we have some priority level to resolute to what? The language in a syntax way. Okay, and so in the arithmetic operators we have the right to left priority. What does that mean? It means that we have this print line here like this one. For example, if we have this kind of operation in here like this one, and so what's the outcome of this code? If we have the right to left priority in here like this one, and then we can say that this must be completed firstly, and then the second one is run, and so this must be equal to the what? 2 over 16. Okay, and so if I run this code, and then the 65,000 blah 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 can be seen on the terminal page. Okay, but we have another example in here. If we use the brackets in here like this one, and then we have in this case 16 over 2. Okay, and it's equal to the 256. Okay, or we can write this like this one, 2 times 3 over 2. Okay, and this generates the what? The 2 times 9, because firstly this is accomplished or completed by the compiler or the interpreter, and then this must be run. Okay, and so it's equal to what? The 18. Okay, And so in the plus and minus operation, we have different priority level. Okay, we have the right to the same priority level, right to left priority. Okay, for example, what happened if I use the 3 minus in here like this one? Okay, and so the firstly right to left operation is run on this code, and then this must be what the minus 3 plus 3 and minus 3, and then we can say that these results must be equal to the minus 3. Okay, and it can be seen in the terminal page. Okay, and so what happened if we use the minus 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 5? Firstly, we should utilize this minus in here like this one. This 2 is removes to each other, and so the result of these things equals to the what? The 5. Okay, and if I use the 4 minus in here like this one, and then I can generate the results with the what? With the 15. Okay, or if we have this information in here like this one, we can put the plus operator in here, and then we have the 15 value because there's nothing change with the minus operator. Or we can use the plus minus 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 5, and this generates also the same results. Okay, but in some cases we have the minus 2 over 2, and so what's the result of this code? In the first place, we have the right hand side operator or right priority, and so 2 times or over 2 generates the 4, and minus is added to this term, and so these results must be equal to what? The minus 4. Okay, but if we have this information in here with the brackets in here like this one, and so we can take the 4 value at the terminal page. Okay, there is important feature in Python programming language. We have or we don't have the increment or decrement operator in Python. Okay, for example, a plus plus, b minus minus, there's no operator like this one. Okay, any question? Okay, so in second place we will talk about the comparison operators. For the comparison operators, we can generate the true or false value because it's a Boolean operator like this one. For example, if we have the 3 is greater than 2, and then this results is equal to what? True or false. Okay, this case is true, and then we can generate the true value in here. Or if we have this kind of information in here like this one, the 1 is greater than 2, this false, and then the Python creates the false value in here. Or we can print the what? The 3 equal to 3, and then this generates to what? The true values. Okay, but what if we have this kind of situation? 10 plus 2 greater than 3 plus 8. What's the outcome of this print? Firstly, we need to understand that we have the first operation in here with the plus 1. Okay, because in this case we have the left to right priority in the comparison operators. Okay, and then secondly, we should give the what? The greater operator in here like this one, and so the results must be true in this case. Okay, if I run this code and then we have the true value in here, because the firstly we accomplish this task and then we will create this task, and so 12 is greater than the 11, and then we can produce the true values. Okay, and so we can write it down in priority level. We have the left to right priority. Okay, so what if we have this kind of information in here, like this one? A is equal to the 10, and so print A or 5A and 10. What's the result of this operation? Firstly, we should understand that we have the left to right priority in here, like this one. Firstly, this operator is run on the interpreter. Secondly, we have this one. This is result of this one. Okay, and so 5A greater than 10 or 20. Okay, and so if I run this code, it must be returned to the true value, because this is true and then this is true, and so we can generate the true value in here. But if I choose the 8 value in here, like this one, and so this must be created to the false value. Okay, also we have like this one, 10 if equal to A greater than 5. And firstly we check the equality of the 10 equal to A, and then A greater than 5, and so this must be produced the true value. Okay, or we have like this kind of operation in here, like this one, 3A 20 greater than 10. Firstly we need to analyze these things. This is the true value, and so we have the true value, and so we have the true value at this case, and so the output is the true. Okay, okay, any question? Okay, now we have the logical operators in here, like this one. There are 3 operators: and, or, and not in Python programming language, and there are 2 responses: true or false. And so if I use the and or not, and then we will have the true or false value. Okay, for example, print false and true value in here, like this one, and so this generates to false value, because the AND operation 0 and to 1 produces or generates the 0 value or the false value. But if I have this kind of operation in here, like this one, the true and true value, and so we have the true value in here. But what happens if we utilize these things, 100 and minus 20? If I run this code and we have the minus 200, because this is not a true or false value, it's an integer value, and we have this information in here. Okay, and suppose that we have the new case in here, like this one, the 0 and 1 minus 200 in here, and so we have the 0 value, because this value is automatically converted to the false value in here. Okay, or because it's a non-zero value. Or we can print like this one, 100 and 0, and so this generates the zero value in here. Okay. Or we have this kind of utilization in here like this one, 120, and so we will get the 20 value because the right hand side is current on the on the non-boolean operation in here. Okay. Or we can say that if we have this information in here, we can utilize these things. 100 or false value. What happens if I run this code? 1 becomes true, Bilal. But it's the okay. non-boolean operation, and so if we have the non-boolean operation and then we have the right hand side value. Okay, so if we have the number in here like this one, the integer, and then we have the false value, or in integer way that we have a 0 value in here, this generates the 100. Or if we have this notation in here like this one, and so this must be also generates the 100 value. Okay. Or if we have this information in here, and so this must be returns to the true value. Okay. The other example is related to the not operator in here. If we have this kind of information not true, and so this must be returned to the false value. Okay. But what happened if I use the not minus or negative 150 value in here? Firstly, you should remember that this value is a non-zero value, or in other terms we have the true value in here. And so if I take the not value in here like this one, and so this must be produced the false value. Okay, because it's true value, because it's a non-zero. If the one things is non-zero, and then it must be a return to the true value. Okay. Or in other way, not 0 generates the false value in here. Okay. True value, sorry. In priority level, we have the another syntax in here like this one. In priority level, logical operator is lower than comparison, which means that if we have the comparison and the logical operator, firstly we have the comparison one. Okay. For example, print 3 greater than 2 and 1 greater than 4. This must be this generates to the true value. This generates the false value, and the true and false generates the false value. Okay. Or if I change the 1 with the 5, and so this must be true. Okay. Another example is related to 10 times 3 in here, but we can take the not value in here. And so in this case we have the 30 value, and if we take the not operation in here, and so this must be produced the false value in here. Okay. But if I change this term in here like this one, 10 times 0 value, and so this must be also be true. Okay. Or if I change this term like this one, not 10, times 3, and so this generates to what? The 0 value in here, 0 times 3, and it must be also equal to the what? The 0 value. Okay? Or print not 0, which is equal to the 1 times 3 generates the 3 value in here. Okay? Do you understand what I'm saying in this topic? Because it's important, because if we want to compute or calculate any relation or any literals in Python programming language, we should know the priority level of the operators. Okay? Any question? Zero is equal to the false value, and for example 5 is equal to the 1 value or true value because it's non-zero. Okay, Faruk? Not 0 is equal to the what? The 1 value or true value. Okay? In the next step, we will talk about the assignment operators in here. Okay? Firstly, we need to give the some specific information in here, like this one, the in priority level assignment operators is right to left prior. Okay? For example, A equal to B equal to 100. So, what's the value of A and B in here? Like this one. And so, it must be equal to the what? To 100 and 100. Because we have the right to left priority in this case. Okay? But, if I use this syntax in here, like this one, and so we have the error in here, because it cannot assign to literal coming here, because we have the B variable in here like this one, and so B cannot be assigned to the what? The 100. 100 is assigned to A, but this is a syntax error. Okay? In order to assign the any variable in here like this one, and so A equals to the what? To 1. Okay? But just remember that we don't have the any increment or decrement operation in Python programming language, and so A must be increased with the what? The plus equal operator in here, like this one. And so if I use this term, and then if I run this code, firstly we have the A value, and the A in the second place we have the what? 2 value. Okay? The same syntax is current for the another or any other arithmetic operators like this one. If we have this operation in here, and then we have 2 times 2, which is equal to the 4. Okay? Or we have the times or star equal value in here, which is the over operator in here, like this one, and so we have the 16 value at this time. Okay? But what happens if I equalize the A to 3 and A star equal 2 plus 3? Okay? What's the result of this code? Just remember that we have this operation in here. Firstly, we have the 2 plus 3 in here, like this one, which is equal to 5. And so, this must be first, and the second, A times 2 plus 3 must be performed by the interpreter. Okay? And so if I run this code like this one, the 15 is seen on the terminal page, because the 3 and 5 generates the 15 value. Okay. Any question? This is all the hand of the operators in Python programming language, and so we should analyze the print function or built-in function in Python programming language. We should always use the print function in order to what? In order to see or in order to show our results in the terminal page, or the transfer to another place in Python or in any other language. Okay, and so the print function is a built-in function, which means that we have the library which is embedded in the Python programs. Okay, and so like this one. If I use only these terms, and so we have the new line, many new lines in here. Okay, so A is equal to 10, B 20, and C is assigned to 30. Okay, firstly, if we have this information in here like this one, and so we can easily use the comma operator in here like this one, and then we can print all the values into the terminal page. Okay, and so if I run this code, and then 10, 20, and 30 is written on the terminal page, but with a one empty space. Okay, this is the default characteristics of the print function. For example, if we have the A times 2, B times 3, and C times 4 in here like this one, firstly the Python accomplish or the generates or performs this arithmetic operator in here, and then we call the print function in here, and so the generates the results of the 20, 60, and 120. Okay, and so we can use some other operators or other types in here like this one. A is equal to this time, and we can use the comma operator in here like this one, and then we have A is equal to 10, and so just remember that we have the empty space with the comma operator in here. Okay, or we can change these separation points A, B, C, and we have the default arguments in here like this one, the sep string inserted between values, default space. Okay, and so we can change these things like this one, the comma operator, and then we will have the 10, 20, and 30 at this space, or A, B, C sep xxx, and then what happened if I run this code, and so 10xxx, 20xxx, and 30 is seen on the terminal page. Okay, or we can give the non-space by using the sep in here like this one. We don't have any empty space in here like this one, and so if I run this code, the 10, 20, and 30 is seen on this page. Or A, B, C, and separation is assigned to the empty space, and we can give the endpoint in here like this one, for example dot. And so if I run this code, we don't have the empty space, but at the end of this code we will have the dot operator in here. Okay, or can change this end in here like this one, that's the end, and then we will have each print function these terms. But just remember that we have the two repetition or repeated values in here, because in the end of this code defaultly we have the new line character. Okay, for example, if we have change the end position in here, and then this value does not include it at this time. For example, if I run again this code, and then in the terminal page we have on the same page with what the tree string. And so if I change this code like this one, this is a default value, and then if I run this code, and so this must be given in here, but these two of them are seen in the same page or the same line. Okay, and so if I change this code like this one, and then this is the default value of the print function body. Okay, so any question? Okay, we can use the functions like this one, the print2, print3, like this one. We don't have the .comma operator in Python, but if we want to write the whole code in one line, and then we can use this syntax. Okay, 1, 2, 3. But in defaultly we add the new line character in the function of the prints. Okay, or we can print the values of these things like this one. The end default, the empty space is given at this time. Okay, and then the print2 and empty space, print3 and empty space. And so what happened if I run this code in here, and 1, 2, 3 is seen on the page, but if I run again this code, the Mehmet is given in here, and so the Mehmet is in the same line at this time. Okay, so any question? Okay, and so we have another built-in function, the type function, in here. Okay, firstly we will give some basic information. The whole types are actually in Python programming language is a class. Okay, which means that it contains the many functions and attributes or the elements. Okay, attributes means that we have some structure or the data. For example, if we have any class, and then we will have the integer value, string value, which is included in this class, or we may have the functions stored in the class definition. Okay, and so the type function means that this is a default constructor of the whole of the methods for a given class. For example, int is a type, but the constructor of these things, or the integer used with the brackets, generates the type function. And so we can convert any type to any one. Okay, for example the float, for example the str, for example the bool. Okay, can create some examples in here like this one. For example, if we have the 1.3 in here like this one, the values of 1.3 is in the type of the float or float class. But if I use the integer constructor methods or the type function, and then we have the 1, okay, because it's converted into the integer values. Okay, or if we have the true value in here like this one, true means that the 1 or non-zero values. And so if I run this code, and then this generates the equal to the 1, but in the type of the integer values. Okay, or we can convert the string value in here like this one, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and so if I run this code, and then we will have the 123 value in here. But if we have the, for example, string values in here with the name of the Ali, and then if I run again this code, and then the value error is given here because the invalid literal for int with the base of 10, which means that we cannot convert any character or string values into the what, into the integer value, unless they are numbers. Okay, and so it creates the what, the syntax error. Okay, and also we can give the some other parameter in here like this one. For example, if we have the many space character in here with the what, with the numbers, and so that's okay for the Python because it removes the whole the what, whole the empty space. Okay, there's no syntax error in here. Or if we have the any integer value in here like this one, 1 minus 123 in here, and so we can convert the float value in here. Okay, like this one. Or float minus 11 12 34, and then we may have the what, the float value again in here. Or we can convert the true value into the float value, which is equal to what, 1.0. Okay, just remember that this is different from the integer one because the one of them is the float value, one of them is the what, the other term is the integer value, and the one of terms is the float value in here. Okay, or we can utilize, or we can convert everything into the string one. For example, if we have the print function in here like this one, str123, and so if I run this code and then 1 2 3, which is given in the type of the what, the string values. Okay, or str12.35, and so which is indicated in what, the string notation 12.35. Okay, or if I have the true value in here like this one, and so the true is included in here, but in the state of the what, the string format. Okay, or false value. Okay, but I cannot use the false in here because there's no need for that. Okay, and so we have the boolean type function like this one, 51 and dot 1 in here. Okay, we can convert the whole the terms into the bool because 51 is not a zero value or is non-zero value, and so this generates the what, the true value. Okay, or may have this term in here like this one, the 10, and so this must be also a true value. Or if we have the zero value in the type function, and so we can generate the false value. Okay, like this one. Or if we have the empty space, empty character in here like this one, this must be also a false value. Okay, or by using the type function we can create the variables, because the type function is the constructor of the what, the class of integer. Okay, and for example, if we create the a value in here like this one, and so if I run this code, we have the zero value in here in the default value. Or if we can create the float value in here like this one, and so if I run again this code, and then we will have the float zero value. Okay, any question? Okay, I can show it the what, the print int Ali. Firstly, we need to understand that the string cannot be converted into the integer unless if we have stored the number values in here. And so if I run again this code, and so we have the invalid literal for the base 10. Base 10 means that this is the standard number decimation rule, okay? And so we don't have here a number, and so we cannot convert or initialize the integer class by using these terms. But if we have this definition in here, like this 1, 4, 5, 6, and so these are whole numbers, and then we can convert the string into the what? Into the integer type, okay? And so if I run again this code, and then we have the 456, but in the second place we cannot convert the Ali into the what? Into the integer type, okay? Okay. So we have one more function in here, which is equal to the what? The input function. Okay. Input function means that in C or C++ programming language, it's like the scanf function, okay? Getting input values from the users, okay? For example, as input, like this one, and so give a name in here, okay? And then we can print the S value in here. For example, if I run again this code, I'm sorry. And so the terminal page gives us a give a name, for example the Python, okay? And so the Python is assigned to S, which defined with the S str value or string type, and so the Python is seen on the terminal page, okay? Or we can give some numbers in here, okay? Input give a number, and then print what? The S. And so in this case Mehmet, and give a number 1, 2, 3, and so this 1, 2, 3 is stored in the what? In the S domain. But just remember that the input has many objects. For example, if you want to give some numbers, you should remember that this number is in the type of the string format. And so in order to convert the integer value, we should also apply this conversion in here, okay? Because if we don't have this conversion, like this one, S times 2 is stored in here, like this one, the Mehmet is given, and 1, 2, 3, and so we have the 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3. What is this? This is the what? The S times 2 or 2 times S is written on the terminal page. But if I change this code like this one, and so if I run again this code and then give a name in here, Mehmet, and 1, 2, 3, and so this 1, 2, 3 is equal to the 2, 4, 6, or the double times of the 123, okay? Just remember that. It's important because it's a missing part of the what in the projects, okay? Or we can take the float value in here, like this one, the input, give a float number like this one, and so the print S times S can be stored in here, okay? And so give a name Mehmet 2, which is given equal to 4, and 2.2, which is the float value in here, and so 4.84 is stored at this time, okay? Furkan, 200 for instance, this case, oh, okay. In this case, we have the input function in here, okay? But input function always returns the string value, okay? And so if I give the some numbers in here, like this one, the 20 or the 10 or the 5, and so this input generates the string value. And so in order to contain any integer value, we must convert this input, output, or return value into the integer one, which means that we need to utilize the integer function or the type function in here. Okay, that's all. Do you understand what I'm saying, Furkan? Okay, let's take a break, and then we will start at the 5 p.m. okay?